Hello and welcome to YHTV's Flowing into Awareness with visionary and master intuitive Anatara. I'm Christina Suzuma, your host of this program. Today's title is Wake Up and Live a Different Way. And with us is the beautiful Anatara.
Hello, Christina.
I'm awake.
I'm awake too.
I can bounce a different way.
As you were reading the title of today's show, which I haven't heard anyone else say yet, I thought, well, there's a pretty big assumption on my part that whoever is listening may not be awake. and I thought, so what do I mean by that? Because I don't want to be insulting by saying that people are not awake. So the kind of awakeness I'm referring to is the ability to hear and to see and to know with all of your senses and all of your being all of the time. To me, being awake is really living in a stream of consciousness, in a stream of awareness, awareness, where we are completely where everything around us is tangible. Now, it took me a while to get those words out, and what I mean is that we don't feel separate from the furniture in our room. We don't feel separate from the air and the sky and the trees and the sunlight when we go outside. They are as tangible to us as the way the breath feels when we inhale. So being awake is, and I'm sort of speaking about it a little differently than the typical spiritual way that we often describe things. Being awake in this regard, in this description, is about that tingling, tangible interaction between us and everything around us, between us and everything inside us and outside of us, so that we know that we have skin and we have bodies and our flesh ends and the air around us begins, but that we know that energetically we are moving in and out of that air all the time, that the energy of the air becomes a part of us and that we become a part of it. So here I am saying that I'm talking about the things around us being more tangible. And really what I'm saying is, let's have those things that we sometimes feel to be literally tangible be intangible, in that they become only energetic to us, that it becomes an exchange of energetic vibration, of movement, of synchronicity, as we were speaking about the last time we talked together. So if we wake up, and we wake up to the idea that everything around us is tangibly intangible, and that we are intimately in a dialogue and it's almost as if we're breathing with everything around us all the time. We breathe, that which is around us feels the breath going in and out of us. We inhale, and that which is around us comes into us. It becomes a part of us. So it's the interrelatedness, which is being awake, being aware, having our eyes open, our hearts open, our senses open, our minds open, our spirits wide open. That awakeness drastically alters and changes the way we live. Mm-hmm. It gives us a different way to live.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Interesting. I mean, as I'm listening to you, and just being with the thought of awakeness, it takes, for me, a very conscious effort to do so. In the means of yes, I am, yet it takes me to become conscious of it in the means of really bring it to the forefront as opposed to being within it. Bring it to the forefront to go, oh, yes. Yes. Oh, it is connected.
I do. I understand. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And what you're talking about, the becoming conscious part of it is, that's the way we take our first steps toward this awakeness.
Mm-hmm.
We think about it. We remind ourselves. We do meditation. We do yoga. We practice being outside and seeing and feeling everything in a specific kind of aware way, and eventually we do start to just live it. So what you were describing was that sometimes you are quite awake and connected in that way, but you don't necessarily know it. And then there are the times when we aren't thinking about it, and we may not be as fully engaged in the non-engagement of being awake, but then we notice that actually we were, or that actually we are. So this is, as most things are, this is one of those fluid dimensions.
Yes.
Everything is flowing. Everything is coming, going all of the time. There is no way to lock this down. All right?
Yes.
And to lock it down literally negates it.
Yes.
It erases it. It makes it impossible.
And I think that's where my hesitation about making it conscious, because then my linear mind is what's, to me, my linear mind is creating that consciousness as opposed to being engulfed in it.
Yes,
because
exactly.
it is that intertwining. Energies are energies. It's that intertwining of being with the energies and the ebb and the flow, and allowing it all to just be.
That's right. But
to begin with, it is, you need to be that linear to begin with, because it's like everything. We need to understand where that awareness comes from so that we sense and feel. And then once we understand that, and our bodies and our senses understand that, then it can all just be.
Well, we're familiar with it then, and we're accustomed to the way it feels. And then when it starts to happen, we go, oh, I got it. That's it. And I have found it again. And I invite this to be more and more a part of my being, and more a part of the way I live and flow. So I love the way you were talking about the energies. Energy is energy, moving all the time, combining, distancing, flowing around and through absolutely everything. And that's the intangible part of being awake. We some people may see the energies. Most of us do not. We don't need to. It might be quite distracting if we actually saw all of it all the time. And just knowing that by being, we let it flow, and by being, it's possible for something very important and powerful and strong to flow through us, and to sort of help something else move away that's not required in that moment. So the flow, the ebb and the flow, the back and the forth, the up and the down, the in and the out, that is being awake. That's what changes your life.
Change is good. And it's so consistent through our life, isn't it? It's ever evolving, and that shift, and that's the beauty. To be open to that.
To be open to it. That's exactly it. And not to think, oh, I have to do this again. I have to change something major again. It's going to take so much effort. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. Well, it may be some of those things, especially if you think that. And if you let it flow, if you let the change be the energy of change, the energy of the next best thing, let it happen. Be it, love it.
Sometimes it takes a lot of courage, but it's a wonderful flow.
And the one last thing I'll say about it is breathe it. Breathe everything. Breathe with everything. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe the flow, breathe the stasis. There are times when the breath actually stops, and that's all right. But breathe with it all. And you'll find that your resistance is, it's nullified hugely. Things disappear when you breathe through it.
Yes, I agree with that. I think breath is so powerful in our life, and it
Mhm.
is truly our through line in life, and it connects
Beautiful term,
all.
through
Connects
line.
all. Yeah.
Beautiful term. I
Mm.
like that.
So
Thank
let's
you.
all ride that line.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Anatara, for such a wonderful moment of flowing into awareness.
Thank you, Christina.
And of course, we would like to thank each and every one of you for joining us in this new platform of education and information. We're grateful for your continuous support, and we look forward to hearing your feedback on how we can serve you better. We invite you to connect with Anatara by following her on Twitter at Anatara, and of course through her own website, anatara.ca. Anatara.ca. We love your comments and suggestions and feedback. Please do so just by simply typing it into comment box there on your screen. And if you're listening to this through a device, give us a call. Don't hesitate at 818-LETS-TALK. 818-LETS-TALK. Thank you for joining us today. And until next time, namaste.
And then they're seeing their health improve in other ways. Often, when I work with a client, they come with a particular ailment or disease or imbalance, but after I've improved their digestion, improved their eating habits, improved their elimination, improved their diet, that what they came to me for, whether it was headache or menopause symptoms, have already fallen to the wayside before